apology. Who signed it?
Clinton.
President Clinton. Now, do you suppose he knew what he was signing?
No.
Well, what are communal tenures, Aboriginal tenures, like people exercising sovereignty in Hawaii before 1778 AD do to all the lands in Hawaii? What does it do when you say communal tenures? You tell me what it means. I'll listen to you instead of telling you why I don't like it. What's wrong with the word communal? Aren't we communal? We're sitting right here.
No.
Aren't we a community? Don't we communalize right here?
Communal means government.
I beg your pardon.
Sounds to me like communal is a euphemism for government.
All right. A euphemism for what kind of government?
Collectivist kind of government.
Okay. Collectivist in what sense?
Well, in the sense that individual is subordinated to some group.
Okay. Why do we dislike it so much if we're American?
Less freedom.
Okay, you use that word freedom. All right. Less freedom for what, though?
Sounds to me like it might have something to do with the concept of property ownership.
Okay, fine. Concept of property ownership. Now,
It wasn't communal at all.
do you rent this ground here? Or do you rent it for, do you own it? What?
So long as I pay my property taxes, I own it. As soon as I don't pay the property taxes, the government takes it.
That's
or unless
right.
they want to build a railroad.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, are you on that? Are you? Okay.
No, if they wanted to, they could take it.
Well, that's what I was protesting, was the definition of Hawaiian tenures before 1778, before Captain Cook comes here. And Kamehameha the Great is not Kamehameha the Great at that time. He's a young kid. And the last Russian explorer who came here, who knew him and interrogated him very seriously, asked him in 1819 how old he was. 1880, 1890, he's about to die now. So this fellow who is here from Russia says, King Kamehameha, tell me, how old are you? So he thinks back, he says, well, I was born in 1740, more or less. So I'm about 79 years old. Uh-oh. Could he count? Could you trust him? Could you trust him to say I'm 79 years old and it's correct?
No.
You wouldn't trust him, right? So why not?
It's mathematically incorrect.
It's mathematically incorrect? All right. That's where I come in. That's why I went to Washington, D.C. one year to disprove so-so astronomers that said, no, the Hawaiians couldn't have gotten this calendar from, they had to get it from the missionaries. Oh, they did get some calendars from the missionaries, yes. But not the one they already had. The one they already had was lunar calendar, plus solar calendar, plus anomalistic year, plus precession of the equinox, the U++. Where did they get it from? Where did it come from? They had it already. How come? Accurate. In fact, yeah, you said what? Avakea? What did you say? Avakea was my afternoon? Well, this is beside the point. What I'm trying to do is inject some reason to feel the way I do about communal tenures, why I don't like it. It's not because I dislike communists. Alright? I just happen to dislike them. Do you know why I dislike communists? Because I don't like the Communist Party. Why don't I like the Communist Party? Because my uncle was Senator Bernard Kinney from Kohala, Sheriff of Kohala. He was down here in the legislature for years. And because of him, that last book of Quickendall died before he could finish the last book. Yeah, there's 3 in that set. Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, was because Kitty went to legislate, hey, do you know Quickendall has died and here are all his loans? And they say, somebody got it right, so we've got to get this going and get it done. Somebody else has ghostwritten the last volume of Quickendall. That's because my Uncle Bernard happened to be in the legislature. Now, what about the Communist Party over here in Bernard Kitty? If I were to tell you, you wouldn't believe half of the things they did to him. I can still see him rocking himself on my porch up in Manoa where I used to live, saying to me, well, you know, Ruby, the one thing, I don't mind that I didn't get elected this last time. It's too bad that when Patsy Mink introduced that bill to, reapportion the representation from the different districts, that it threw mine out from Kohala, and I had to come down here and run from Oahu where they know me less. But you see, I threw in because the party didn't have anybody out here in Waianae, so I threw in, and then I used my residency up in Nuuanu so I could run. Now, it didn't hurt me so much I didn't get elected. But the Republican Party never even gave me a lay when we co-shop. But Masu was Senator Bernard Kitty, who was William Ansel Kitty. That's where I'm coming from on my father's side. My father never ran for political office. He was so mad when Bernard Kitty voted for the tax, what they call it, general excise tax of 2% at that time. My father was up there, he knew one, and he called his brother. He said, Bernard, you come over here, I have something to say to you. So Uncle Bernard walks in and sits down at the table, and I hear my father say, you know something? How come you voted for this? Well, you see, Ernest, we got to raise the money so we can build Magic Island. And you know what Magic Island is going to do, don't you? We can put big hotels over there. We can have what we need, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but Bernard, to vote for this excise tax means that every time I go to the bathroom and flush a toilet, it's 2% tax on the toilet. That's Kitty's sense of humor, right? But that's what he was burned out. So this is what Uncle Bernard explains to him, and every time he went over, and voted with the Democrats like that. There were only 3 or 4 of them, and every time he cast his vote and signed, my father said, why you do that? He says, well, where I run from, Ernest, Jack Hall is the boss of the unions. So if I don't please Jack Hall, I can't get elected from Kohala. Are you kidding? Now, I remember all of that. I'm just a young kid watching the parade of personalities that I have in my life, personally, to make me dislike him. That has nothing to do, however, with, let's say, legal definitions and philosophical definitions within that first paragraph of USPL 103150, Clinton Apology, which precludes or is preliminary to or introductory to the Akaka bill. Because the Akaka bill is based on that, and not on that. The USPL apology is based on NAGPRA, the Native American Graves Protection Act. Alright, so where was Ruby Johnson then? I'd just been invited to be on the board, just below the, trustees of the Bishop Museum, the ones who run the collections. I'd just been voted on and appointed to that board that would consider the collections. And what's the first meeting about? Oh, we have this problem coming up. What is it? I'm just summarizing now. There's a lot of other business. But you see, we were just about to do this DNA study on the bone collections in the museum, and guess what? Those Hawaiians over there are stopping us on the basis of NAGPRA. They won't let us do the DNA. So who's crying? Tony Han. Who's Tony Han? She's the one just ready to test all the bones. Which ones are they concerned about? The Okafu bones. The sets that were taken